I think we're streaming on Twitch. And we're sending data to YouTube. Let's see here. Come on, baby. Send it. It says streaming. Oh. Oh. There it is. Holy cow. I didn't break it. I honestly cannot tell you how happy I am. Thanks, older brother. I appreciate it. So this is the very first time that I ever did a scheduled stream before. So I was really worried that I was gonna get that a little wrong. I am glad to see that it's working out. Let me close this down and let's get started in here. Okay, so now we are starting the stream about a half an hour before the actual launch is going to happen. I tried to make that a little clear. Okay, I'll hit the game, thanks. Let's turn this up just a little bit. How is that, everyone? Alright, so we've got about a half an hour before the reset actually happens and we can move into our new server. 26 minutes here is what it says. We already got signed up. We're going to be moving into the hard mode of the PvE season because I already did PvP this last season. So there's no need to do that again. So we're going to move into the PvE season. Hopefully the new PvP scenario doesn't drop before we finish this season here. Because I'd really hate to miss out on the launch of the new PvP scenario, but I also don't want to just sit around waiting for weeks. So I'm going to play this PvE season, and we're just going to hope for the best. So we're already signed up. We've got limited spots available. If you were planning on playing the PvE season, and maybe you didn't get signed up early enough because you just got logged in, let me know. If you're in the NA server region, I will happily friend you and send you an invite. I should be able to invite 5 people to that server. And I don't have any friends that are going to be playing. I don't think. So there won't be any need for me to have those server invites. So if there are a couple of people who maybe didn't get logged in early enough to get into that hard mode server, then just hit me up, let me know. I'd be more than happy to spend one of those invites on you. And we're going to see if any of our vegetables or anything have grown. We're going to get them farmed up here real quick. Always got to do that server, or always got to do that base maintenance when you first get on every day. I kind of ruined my planting, but it's okay. It's not really that big of a deal. I'll probably just go ahead and turn these mushrooms into mutation fertilizer and maybe take that mutation fertilizer with me into the next season because you always need it. Got to get deviated vegetables. Very, very important. Yeah, so until the reset actually happens, I don't have a ton to do. We're just kind of doing some prep work. I do want to show you an interesting thing I'm going to give a try to here. I made 145 shattered breads. I actually made 200 shattered breads, but I gave 55 of them away to the person who helped me out with some sugar and some corn oil and stuff like that I was missing. But we're going to take these shattered breads because they were made with a kitchen that has a plus 30% bonus effect. I'm pretty sure when these move to the space-time inventory that they are going to be non-spoilable. So they're going to be immortal, basically. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to have an extra 30% bonus when I PvP people in Eternaland that they won't be able to have, because if you make Shattered Breads using Astral Sand in Eternaland, they don't get that bonus of 30% because you can't have the specializations in Eternaland. So you're looking at maybe being able to eke out a little extra on your friends if you make your Shattered Breads here in the server in the season before you move to Eternaland. So we're going to be doing that, and hopefully that'll work out. If it does, then next season we're going to get even crazier with it, and we're just going to make all the foods. I'm just going to stockpile deviated vegetables the entire season, and then just dump them all into Eternaland at the end, because I'm pretty all in on Eternaland. I think that the PvP and stuff there is just superior to what we have available in season play right now. And I just think it's going to be a lot more fun because you can cross server with it. People in PvE servers can even come and play PvP on the Eternalands. So there's really just no reason to limit yourself to only being able to fight the same, 50 or 60 people who are PvPing on your server, when you could be fighting the thousands of people who PvP all across all the different Eternalands. So I'd really, I'd love to build a community sort of around building some cool PvP Eternalands and doing all that stuff. So we don't have a ton to do, like I said, for about the next 30 minutes. I wanted to make sure that we were online early enough, though. So if there are any questions or anything like that, we can get them answered. And we can make sure and get any prep work done. But I really don't know if there's any more prep work to do. I am excited to try and raise, I've got 5 S-tier bears. So I'm excited to try and raise my bears in Eternaland and just maybe get a nice S-tier bear farm going on, especially when breeding starts happening. I really want to breed these up and just have a nice base of S-tier bears in my Eternaland so that I can, carry those into future seasons and stuff like that. Just be starting out every season with bears defending my base sounds like the most fun that you can possibly have. So I'm going to be doing that. I also think the wolves and the crocodiles have pretty insane attack rates. So I also think that wolves and crocodiles will be pretty good. So if that's something you'd prefer to have, actually, I don't know if Blue Emphasis is here or not, but Blue, if you're here, the wolf that you nicknamed Raiju actually got a bonus called Stormchild that gives them extra damage when it's raining or thunderstorming and causes them to do the charge effect, the shock effect. So super hilarious that you named it Raiju and it went ahead and got that Stormchild bonus. I think that's maybe the most awesome thing I've ever heard. But we got our Starcrum stuff done. We did our purification. We have 13,000 Starcrum coming with us over into the next season. So we are going to make sure that we finish up those banners. I think it's really good when you do the wish machine. It's great to go ahead and buy weapons if you really, really have a build in mind. But if you don't and you feel like just having some fun, these banners that come up as part of every season are really, really valuable as far as how much Starcrum you spend and what you get out of it. You're going to spend about 10k Starcrum to finish out a banner, but you're going to usually get the legendary weapon that the banner shows, and then everything else that you would normally get. Instead of just spending 8k on one single legendary weapon, you're going to get the legendary weapon plus 20 more pulls for just 2k more Starcrum, which is a pretty huge value as long as you're interested in the weapon that's being put out. So we're going to have access to the jaws for weapons as part of our banners for our next season, because if you look in here, when you pick a season, you're actually going to have down here, you got to scroll down underneath this stuff. I missed it. I actually had to re-put out a video today because I missed this. And I put out a video about how to sign up for your next season, and I never scrolled down. I had no idea this was here, so I had to fix it. But in the hard mode server that I'm going to, next season we're going to be getting this blueprint. The Wish Machine is going to put out the Jaws, and then it's also going to put out the the Shaman Vulture top, which, after triggering Unstable Bomber, crit rate plus 35% for 3 seconds. So that's just going to be insane. I'm probably going to have to go ahead and get the Gulped Lore sniper rifle and rock and roll it with the Jaws here and just have myself a good time. Are they making a full PvP server? They are not making an unlimited PvP server yet. So the next PvP scenario that's going to come out is going to be this one right here. It's the Prism versus Clash. And this is coming out sometime in September. I'm hoping that it comes at the end of September, otherwise I'm going to be trapped in the scenario that I'm starting today. But sometime in September, this is dropping. So right now, you do have the option to repeat the same PvP scenario that we just finished, and you can do it on hard mode. So it will be much more interesting, at least the PvE side of things will be much more interesting if you redo it. You save your story progress. They said they're going to give you truncated versions of the story quests if you've already completed the story. So you'll be able to clear those story quests a lot faster without having to deal with all that stuff. And then you still get your phase bonuses for Starchrome. You still get, you get all the same Starchrome rewards and stuff again. And you're going to get new stuff in the Wish Machine banners and all of that. So it'll still be kind of a new experience. You're still going to get to experience that hard mode if you go into the hard mode server. So I think there's some value there. But if you're dead set on PvP and you're not resetting today because maybe you joined a little later, then you might want to hold off. If your reset isn't coming for maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, then you might want to hold off on joining a new server and just wait for that new PvP scenario to drop. It'll mean probably sitting around for a couple of weeks and not having anything to play, but you can stay in Phase 6 for up to 4 weeks. Right, it's still not open yet. We have 16 more minutes. But you can stay in Phase 6 for up to 4 weeks. So you can chill in your other server and build up more stuff for that time until the new PvP scenario drops, and then you can go ahead and jump in there. I think that faction warfare scenario is going to be really cool. I'm pretty excited about it, so we will see what happens. Got a ton of people over on YouTube. I've got you all sort of captive here, and we're not really doing anything. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And my crazy dinosaur is making weird noises at me. This has been my base for pretty much the entire time that we've been here. Over here, super far on the northeast side of the map, there's this great little spot in this little cove, and for some reason I get both polluted water and salt water over here. Just kind of randomly, my pumps give polluted or salt. Thanks, Renegade. I appreciate that. I have spent an unreasonable amount of time playing this game over the course of the last 6 weeks. So you can take an infinite amount of stuff into Eternaland. So what's going to happen is you have 2 backpacks, right? You have your regular backpack, and then you have the space-time backpack. And when you leave your server, you can't do it manually. It has to happen automatically. When you leave your current server, everything in your regular backpack that can be moved, for example, like this is a season exclusive item, so the solar drills don't move. Your controllers don't come with you. All the things that aren't able to come with you will disappear. But anything that is able to come with you into Eternaland, all of it comes. And it goes in your space-time backpack. Now, there is a limit to how much stuff your space-time backpack can hold. So if you exceed that limit, it's going to give you 1 week to claim those items in Eternaland. I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but we will find out today when I leave, because my time backpack is full of fish, because I've been fishing in preparation for the PvP tournaments I want to run on one of my Eternal Lands. So this backpack is just chock full, and so my stuff is absolutely going to fill that up beyond its breaking point. Spent like 400 hours so far. Helped push the server progression from 20-ish% to 100% with Prime War spams. 15-20 hours with 3 to 4 squads. Oh wow, good job, Renegade. Yes, it does also take all your stuff in storage crate. Yeah, no, you can't bring your drill. You're not supposed to be able to bring any of those things, but again, we're going to find out today whether or not that's true. Because I made a mess ton of these portable updraft cannons, because I want to use them in PvP in Eternal Land. So we're going to find out today whether or not these are actually going to be able to be taken with us. I bought a couple extra spectral cloaks and all kinds of stuff. Now, normally if you go to Eternal Land, you can use this stuff, right? Like I can just hotbar this in Eternal Land and use it from my season inventory. But I want it to come with me so that I don't have to get this specialization ever again. I'll just have plenty of updraft cannons. But I don't think that's how it's going to work. We'll see. We are going to be finding out all of the things today. Renegade, I'm actually really hoping to do kind of like what you were talking about doing in my PvE server when I move into this hard mode. Is just really try and help people out. Making sure that Prime Wars get done and all that stuff. Because one of the things that I ran into a lot on this PvP server is there wasn't a lot of stuff to be doing in that department. Like everybody beat the bosses and everybody got all those completes, and you know, beating these Starchrome purifications or these Cortex purifications is pretty easy, so everybody was getting those done. And so there just wasn't a lot of people needing help to fill some of that spare time that I had. So I'm pretty excited about moving into a PvE server and maybe having an opportunity to do that. And I cannot believe there are 20 people watching right now. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit, y'all. We have 11 minutes left until the server unlocks. And I do want to, and I'm going to say this a bunch of times over the course of the next half hour or so, but don't forget to like and subscribe. Praise More, Skunk Farm. Sorry, I just now saw those. Thank you so much for the subscriptions there on YouTube. I really, really appreciate that. Can I show you something on Reddit? I completed Leah Labs solo and would love to show you the strats. They're in comments. That's something that I would love to take a look at. I am not a competent enough streamer right now to do that and be prepared to do the stuff on stream. So I'll take a look at that after I get done with stream tomorrow morning, Renegade. But absolutely, I would love to see that. Old Gamer, if you can get into Eternal Land, cost might be pretty high to move it to the regular server. Interested to see what the cost per transfer will be. Absolutely. That is something we're going to be checking out here. So we will see. I made a bunch of extra weapons. I made every legendary blueprint that I have, and I calibrated them all to max so that I can have calibration tier 10. Ooh, that one's not calibrated to max. Snap. So that I can have tier 10 calibrations in Eternal Land. The reason I did that is because you don't lose durability on things that are in your space-time backpack. Oh no, I don't have enough tungsten. I gotta go get some tungsten real quick. So you don't lose durability on weapons that are in your space-time backpack when you die in Eternal Land. So when you're PvPing in Eternal Land, I am on Twitch, Renegade, yeah, absolutely. But while you're PvPing in Eternal Land, you can sort of have infinite durability on your equipment because nothing loses durability out of your space-time backpack because it's in its own space and time. It's frozen in space-time. All of Eternal Land is. So everything that moves into that backpack should be basically immortal. So I'm looking to see, you know, can I bring calibration plus 10 equipment into Eternal Land and then PvP with it as an immortal item. I'm pretty sure that'll work that way because you can't calibrate equipment that you craft in Eternal Land. So this is going to be the only way to get calibrated equipment over there. I'm sitting here on Go as well, waiting for things to tick over. Got 2 different times to start. One in the next few minutes and another 12 hours later. Like there's a lag before the server opens. Oh, so your server is ending so that you can leave your server and then the other server is opening? Hey, what's up, the Snowy Moon? How are you? Thanks for the follow over on Twitch. So there are two different numbers. So this is when your server closes right here. And then if you go to sign up and look at this number here, this is when... Wait, what? This changed on me. This was 9 hours earlier. What happened? Oh, if I'm not going to be able to get into the server tonight, I'm going to be so sad. This was supposed to have opened 2 hours ago. Gosh darn it. Well, we're going to explore a bunch of stuff with Eternaland today at least. So when I looked at that when I was streaming earlier, because I thought I was just going to be able to go straight into the next season, so I was streaming super early this morning. And when I did that stream, this was saying 9 hours. And the other one was saying 11.5 hours. So this was supposed to be open 2 hours before my server closed. And I just never came back and looked at it because why would I do that? Wow. That's just the worst. Yeah, I mean, that's great. We'll get more time to explore Eternaland before having to worry about Season 2 being open. I should probably change my thumbnail. Whoopsie. Over on YouTube. And so that way we don't keep getting all kinds of people in here who are thinking that the server is about to start and it's not. I'm so sorry, y'all. I didn't realize that was happening. So sorry. Let's get... I'll change... I'll just change this to the thumbnail that I used earlier. Because the reset is technically happening, just not Season 2. And we will just do some other stuff. Wow. That's the worst. Yeah, I'll definitely sleep a little. Probably won't stay up all night tonight like I planned. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. I'm sorry, everyone. I got all your hopes up, and I was full of it. I didn't mean to lie to you. We will be live tomorrow for the actual reset. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this, thumbnail changed. And I'm having trouble talking and doing that at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not terribly worried about it. I feel bad misleading people. I didn't mean to do that. I was so hyped too. I was just getting super excited. I really want to play a hard mode season. I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm already having such a good time with the game. I couldn't even imagine adding more difficulty on top of that, and actually having a challenge in the game would just be incredible. Yes, you can carry Stardust Source into the new season. Could you please reiterate the items checklist after you'll be done? What items checklist? Thanks, Old Gamers Never Die. I appreciate it. Okay, let's go. Details. Oh, wrong video. Hee hee. Okay, once human. Leaving Season 1 for Eternal Land. Live experimentation. Okay. And change this thumbnail to let's see. Got a bunch of random thumbnails in here. I'm sure one of them will work. Let's just do Season 2, How to Pick Your Wish. There we go. We'll use the thumbnail from my video earlier because that's a little more on the nose with what's going on. Bring this back up, and then let's go ahead and change. Yes, you can bring weapons and gear to the new season server, Extreme Gamers. The game is the important things we can carry are things we should pay attention to while carrying items. Give me 1 second there, Renegade. Leaving it Season 1 for Eternal Land and okay. I did not BP my base because my base is an actual garbage can. I just kind of threw it together as I was going without any real understanding of where I was going. So I am not keeping this base as is. I am making a new one. Okay, 0 minutes. Unable to leave server until the countdown is complete, so it's probably counting down seconds right now. Yes, you can bring weapons and gear. You bring them into Eternal Land, and then you're going to have to spend... you're going to have to spend points, material points. For those of you who just got here, I'm so sorry. The new server is not opening yet. I just changed the thumbnail and stuff. When I signed up for it earlier, I was like super early in signing up. This said 9 hours and 30 minutes. And so I was unable, I thought it was going to be open 2 hours before I was able to leave. So I thought it was going to be open. It is not going to be open right now. So if you came because you wanted to see Season 2, I'm sorry. That's not going to be for another 12.5 hours. But I will be live streaming it early tomorrow morning, first thing. So I am sorry to have brought you here under false pretenses, but while I have you here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to trade your energy links in for Starkroom before you leave. I did do that, absolutely. So let's see. What's going on here? Am I not even going to be able to leave? It looks like we do at least. Roger, the only reason you have to remove the deviants is if you have them stored in another person's securement units. So in my own personal securement units, they're fine. But if you have deviations stored in other people's securement units, you have to go get them back because it doesn't recognize. BPs are supposed to transfer to the new server. Weapons and gear will go to Eternaland, and you have to remove from Eternaland with currency. So if y'all don't have your BP for the frozen pike melee weapon, get it before transferring. Oh, is that the only way to get it is from this season? Oh, well, I'm going into this season again anyway, so it's fine. That's only in friends bases. Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is about to be just the most depressing hype stream ever. It's not even going to let me leave the current server to go. Okay, well now it says, so here Power's Beckoning is going to end in 27 days, 11 hours. So like I was saying earlier, you can stay in your existing season for an extra 4 weeks if you'd like. We already signed up. Can I please leave and go to Eternaland? Can we do anything? I'm really just looking for anything. Yes, Renegade, you should be able to carry Stardust Source into the new season. Oh, and now I'm locked up. Do not go to the last page of that dossier. It will freeze your computer. Okay, well, I gotta make it so you guys can't see my screen here for just a second while I restart the game. This is awesome. On the bright side, this is absolutely going to be the worst stream of my life. It's all uphill from here. Yes, the season summary is a bug. You will get stuck there. How many things can go wrong in the first 45 minutes of a stream? Let's see. This is great. This is so great. I'm having the most fun. You all are here to witness the incredible amounts of blundering. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I can provide a little entertainment with my comedy of errors here while we wait. Good times. I have learned as I've gotten older to laugh at myself when I'm being ridiculous. There we go. I'll get it posted up as when everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Here's how you keep going kind of a video. Neu5566, thanks for the follow. Oh, it's one of those. No, thank you for the follow. Add to block list. Bye-bye. I think I should craft different tiers of weapons and gears. So that's entirely up to you, because I don't know how much it's going to cost to take an item from Eternaland into the next season. I'm hesitant to say yes. Because then if you don't want to spend all your resource points taking tier 1, 2, 3 items in and then not be able to bring in your tier 5 items later. So what I would probably do is I would make your tier 1, 2, 3, 4s, and then only calibrate them up to the point where you're not using Stardust Source. I think it's +3. And then if they don't cost very much to take with you, then go for it, take them with you. And if they do cost too much to take with you, then leave them in Eternaland. I'm not going to lie, the main thing I'm interested in is the cost of bringing different items into the new season. So what to focus, and if the season goal and Prime War First Clear rewards are available a second time. So I am 95% sure that the season goals and the Prime War First Clear rewards will be available a second time. Because your Starkroom is supposed to be something you earn every time you go into a season. It's kind of the reason you play. And if you weren't able to get those rewards, that'd be really ridiculous. Especially because they don't have multiple different scenarios for both PvE and PvP. So I'm fairly certain that you will get all of your Starchrome rewards and all of that again the second time you go through. As far as the price, I thought we were going to get to learn that today, and unfortunately we're not. First stream I did, the game failed to launch. I think it was Icarus, and I almost had a meltdown. That sounds about right. Okay, I can turn you all back on now. Hey, there we go. Go back into the game. Quick activators. Quick activators probably aren't going to be that useful for you. Again, it's about that that material point resource. You're going to want to bring big ticket items in, probably is going to be the most important. Scotty Boy, I'm interested about that too. I haven't really played the driving event, so I don't have really a lot of frame of reference for the driving event in general. I guess. So I think one of the most important things to do is to get good versions of your deviations, particularly things like Paperboys and H37 that can bring you those resources that normally you have to go farm for parts that you can disassemble. H37 and Paperboys bring you a lot of those resources, and if you had really high tier, high level ones, then you could probably completely avoid doing any farming of any kind. You know, Digby boys are great, but, you know, farming copper is super easy. Farming tungsten is super easy. None of that stuff really takes very much time. And so Digby boys kind of fall off in their usefulness fairly quickly. But well into the late game, these H37s and paper dolls are really going to help you with your farming. I've got all 6 Whim Potions, Deviations, and Artisan's Hand. I like to hoard. You should definitely have those, absolutely. Because having those even for a brief second, so you can craft those Whim Potions in Eternaland if you've had the Deviations in a securement unit and had access to those Whim Potions even for a brief moment. So they're very, very important to get, at least momentarily, so that you can have access to them in Eternaland too. I'm hoping the 12-hour window is for us to sort what comes over, then decide what to bring in for me. I'm going to just focus on deviations first. BP's transfer anyway, so I can make weapons and gear. Absolutely. The reason I'm interested in weapons and gear is I want to move my weapons and gear into Eternaland and use it there. I'm not necessarily so worried about bringing it into the next season, because like you said, Old Gamer, it's super easy to remake that stuff. Stardust Source is pretty easy to come by. All those tungsten is easy to come by. Can we bring our weapon and armor mod? Yes, all your mods will come with you. Your mods, you can bring your calibration blueprints. You can bring all of that stuff. I would... yeah, I don't know if... So the calibration blueprints are items. So you're probably going to have to use points to take those over. But your mods should transfer with you without needing to spend any points on bringing them over. Also check if a T5 weapon with 0 calibration costs the same as 10 calibration, or if the price changes. That's definitely very true. You know what? We'll make a tier 5 weapon without a calibration and find out. Let's just make us another bingo sniper rifle. Ammo. Done. We'll know in 12 hours. That is a good test to run. Thank you. And things are running really sloppy all of a sudden. And I really wish we were going to be able to leave here. Really wish we were going to be able to leave. All right. Well, what's something that we can do to prepare? I kind of want to get... So, I was talking to somebody earlier today. Yeah. So I'm actually setting up a whole PvP Eternaland. Here, let me show you all real quick, since I've got so many of you here, and this is such an important project to me. I'm setting up a PvP Eternaland where I want to host tournaments and stuff. Just really, really simple tournaments where you go gather fish. Okay, so Mohammed, the calibration blueprint goes on the specific weapon, not on the blueprint. And you can take your blueprints and your weapons with you. So let me get loaded in here and I'll explain it with some visual aids. But okay, so your blueprints are these right here, right? You get these from the Wish machine. These are just part of your account. And so wherever you go, they go. They don't cost anything to bring into the new season because they're not items. They're just your ability to make certain items. And then your actual gear, these items right here, are going to move to your Eternaland inventory, which is this space-time backpack here, which can hold all of your gear and all that stuff. And then when you move to a new season, you'll use this transfer to season backpack button, and you'll get this resource right here, which is material points or logistics points. They've changed the name a couple of times, but you'll use this resource right here to pick and choose different pieces of gear or deviations or items or whatever you might have, and move those from this space-time Eternaland backpack to your new season backpack. And that's how you carry things over with you. And that's going to include, you're going to be able to bring your blueprint calibrations, your calibration blueprints and all that stuff with you. Yeah, so this is my PvP Eternaland, and me and another player have actually, well, let me go into fly mode. Cannot use flight mode in places where I have building permission. I built all this. Anyway. That's absolutely true. You will restart at level 1. So even if you bring a really good weapon, you won't get to use it until later on in the game. But like I was saying, this is my PvP Eternaland. We've built a bunch of different things in here. We've built a bunch of different biomes. And the link is actually in the description, the island code. So all you have to do to be able to come over here and PvP is throw that island code in your Eternaland menu. So when you press escape and you go right here, you can put enter island code to visit. If you're on the North American server cluster, you can put the island code for the PvP Eternaland in the description and come here. Even right now, I'll fight you if you want. But then you can come, and I've built these. I've built a big forest biome over here. And there's a couple of houses in there. There's a cave down in here. I built a kind of weird house over there. There's a lighthouse way up over there on that hill, but you can't see it right now. And then over here down in this cave, I made... oh, no problem, Mohammed. I am happy to help. Scatty Boy says, do you know if specialization fragments can be transferred? Negative. Specialization fragments cannot be transferred. When does your server open? My server is not going to open for another 12 hours, apparently. When I signed up for it earlier, it said it was going to open right now. and I didn't check it again because I didn't think that it would change, and it has. So I've got 12 hours and maybe 15 minutes until my server opens, but then I will be online streaming when that happens. And so this biome here, I made all the Tetris pieces, and I put them kind of willy-nilly down in here and made this labyrinth for PvPing in. But we've got just a ton of cool biomes over here. So share that island code with anybody you want. Bring your friends over here. Have a good time. I've taken all the doors off of all of the buildings. So you'll be able to go in and out because you have to be friends with me in order to use doors and windows. So I just don't have any doors and windows on the buildings, so you can go in and out and do whatever. Yes, your seeds will also come with you. It expressly says, so if you take a look at your regular backpack here, it says this down on the bottom in red, it says this season exclusive item will be destroyed when the season ends. Or if you look at your controllers, okay, well the controllers don't actually say anything, but controllers don't come, damaged data disks don't come, your seeds will come, your cortexes I don't believe come, and things like your access cards won't be coming with you, as well as your refinery permits and stuff like that won't be coming with you. And yeah. I'm going to be double checking because I don't want to just believe outright. So I made a bunch of these portable updraft cannons and got some spectral cloaks. And I'm going to see about taking them with me because maybe, you never know. But we'll find out tomorrow whether or not that's actually going to be possible. DJ Override, sorry I missed you earlier. Thanks for the sub over on YouTube. That's great. I really appreciate that. So the way to go might be transferring rare seeds and deviants, and that's it. Yeah, deviations are definitely going to be your top priority. So somebody was telling me earlier, actually, I was mentioning this and I got sidetracked. Somebody told me earlier that there are like shiny versions of deviations. They said that they got a deviation that was a gel, but it was green or blue. And it gave an extra 5% status damage on top of its healing effect. And it was one of its characteristics. One of the 3 characteristics it can get was what gave that it. And then somebody told me that that same person told me that they knew somebody who got a butterfly that got a characteristic that gave it extra boss damage, or gave you extra boss damage when you had it in your cradle. So if your server still isn't on the reset, then it might be a good idea to go find your favorite combat deviation and see about that. We're going to take a look at that quest line here in just a second because I did forget about that. But I want to show you guys, this is my PvE Eternal Land. Yeah, it was in a novice mode. No, Steven, you cannot leave seasons early. I think they said they were going to see about allowing people to leave seasons early. And they're trying to set it up so that you can change servers to, I think, the same scenario one time per season. But no, you are not going to be able to leave seasons early as of right now. So this is my PvE Eternal Land, and I built a roller coaster in it. And I'm really quite proud of my Jeep-driven roller coaster. Oh, got too much air there. But it's got a couple of loop-de-loops and some cool wall rides. And then we're going to go check out this Eternal Land quest. I really want to share all this stuff with as many people as I can because it took a lot of hours to build and it's really cool and nobody comes and checks it out. Muhammad here, is weapon calibration we can bring to the new season including upgrade? Yeah, so when you bring your weapons into the next season, if you have them calibrated, they will stay calibrated. But you can also come to this island anytime you want. The island code for this island is also in the description of this video and most of my videos. Yeah. I'm not very good at it anymore. I got pretty good at it after I first made it, but it's actually been a couple of weeks since I came and tried this. You do have to build your Jeep in Eternaland with Astral Sand. What happened to the rest of my build? Okay, well there was more... There was more roller coaster. But it doesn't exist anymore. Something is wrong. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, now my roller coaster's back. The moment the ratios will be out, the trading will peak. Oh, the ratios for how much material points it costs. Okay, so this quest line tells me to go talk to Mitsuko about registering for a new scenario. But when I did this earlier, it just took me to the same registration screen I was at. Oh, I've completed scenario registration. Hold on. Excellent, you made your choice. I'm already looking forward to our new adventure. We leave it. Oh, hang on. Somebody might have just saved my stream. We might actually be leaving Eternaland, or leaving for Eternaland right now. You also need time to make the necessary preparations. You can bring some of the supplies you've gathered here. This will greatly assist our exploration of the new world. Yes, I can leave to Eternaland. Oh, thank you. Before we officially depart, no matter where you go, I will be with you. Oh, okay. Okay. It is believed that everything on tasks. Okay, we're all done here. So maybe it's in this. No. Mitsuko, what did you do to me? I hate you. I hate you so much. No, Muhammad, you do not need to disassemble the weapons that you personally calibrated. You do not need to disassemble. Sis, do we need leveling to level 20 to enter Eternaland, or are we already sent there from start? You have to level to level 20, Sis, to go to Eternaland. Darn it. Muhammad, if you made the item yourself, then keep it, because it'll just come to Eternaland, and then you can use it here in Eternaland. If you didn't make the item yourself, and it's just an item you picked up, then go ahead and disassemble it before you come. I have just been getting tricked all day by this reset. It keeps hyping me up, and it keeps giving me hope, and then it just dookies all over my face. I'm so sad. So sad. Well, let's leave Eternaland. And let's go see what we've got going on. I think probably the thing that I'm going to try and spend time doing now is farming deviations. I'd really like to try and get one of those special deviations that that person was telling me about, if they really exist. That would make me really, really happy. Oh no, Core, absolutely. Thank you so much for reminding me that that quest was there. I have a really hard time focusing on all the chat and focusing on what I'm doing, so I miss stuff all the time. And earlier, I started that quest and it wouldn't let me complete it, so at least I got to complete it this time. So No, that was absolutely good. Thank you very much. I always appreciate the help. Now we're gonna drink one of our gazillion foods here. Drink a food. We're not gonna drink a food. We're gonna drink a drink. I'm gonna head over to Eternal Land and jump back, see if that triggers thing. Looking to see if it works for you now that you've gone through the combo. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe something will... No, no, no. If you zoom into the snowy region, the map has already been designed. Yeah, so actually check this out. If we look here, in the sign up, you see the Way of Winter. This is going to be the next PvE season, and it's supposed to be new map. I don't know if it means... What? Where? I have a quest in the game called... Oh my gosh. Core, you are on top of it. You are my hero. Oh no, I already had this. As time changes, the rift begins to become unstable. It's time to utilize Eternal Land to store supplies. Send supplies to Eternal Land. Let's check if we do it here. Details. No. G. No. So it is telling me to come here. The map is going to launch with the new PvE season, which I believe is coming out in October. And so I believe that's going to be this snowy region up here. I think we're getting the rest of this map in October, is my belief. No. Let me take stuff to Eternal Land. Why do you hate me? You can name your territory? Since when? You baited again. No. I hate everything, Mitsuko. You're a terrible person. Why is my life in shambles? It's a good thing I didn't pull these shattered breads out. Yeah, I mean, it could be that we just get this section and maybe the entire season takes place just up here. And then whatever's down here. But this section seems kind of small compared to the other two sections. I'd be a little sad if this was a whole season all by itself. But it might be. Wouldn't let me even go to Eternal Land, said server was busy. Odd since it's just me working. Oh, okay, so it started working. Okay, good, good. I would really like to see the rest of the map open in October. Because like somebody said earlier, it does seem like it was already done. So I would like to see the rest of the map be available. But we're gonna go hit Silo Alpha real quick, I think. Yeah, Core Complex, it really does. I feel like I have this plethora of information, and yet I'm not able to utilize any of it, I think is the problem. Like, I feel like I know exactly what I should be doing right now, and I'm just not able to do it, because the system isn't there yet. And it's kind of driving me insane. I mean, I'm happy. I love the game. I love playing it. I'm going to keep playing it, but it is really testing my patience right now. We got 12 hours. So tomorrow morning at 7:30 p.m. or 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, we'll be getting on. We'll be doing this all over again. I expect all however many of you there were to be back tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be counting heads. Every single one of you doesn't show up again. I'm gonna be super sad. I guess I can pick the rest of these mushrooms and turn them into fertilizers. Another thing that I want to do is, because you can build 9,000 structures in Eternaland, I kind of want to make an Eternaland island that is just... Oh, what? What happened, old gamer? I kind of want to make an Eternaland that is just planter boxes and plant all the crops there so that people can come and use them for like turn-ins for the Eternaland quests and stuff. Finish the chat with Mitsuko on Eternaland and you'll get a new quest, Beyond the World. Still 2 days left for my server, not looking forward to it now, just looks complex. Hopefully, DJ, they'll fix it before it gets around to you. You can... Oh, sorry. You can connect wires in series, connect one electrical facility to another, and then connect the entire grid to the power source. Yes, absolutely. I sort of did that by chaining together the outlets and then connecting one outlet to a bunch of kind of localized structures. It was much cleaner when I originally did it, but I've moved things around a lot and it's gotten much less clean. We'll then ask if you have completed scenario registration. Yeah, I did that. It will then ask if you have completed scenario registration. Yeah, my base in general is just not very clean, Renegade. I just kind of threw it together as I was going. I wonder if maybe F7 or F8 might be... Oh, Death Knight Pro was here earlier. And a couple of other people have shown up in the past couple of days. And she says basically it's not ready. Oh, okay. I hate this game. I guess we could submit some quests here. Why not? You can also buy a bunch of really basic stuff. Oh, you can get the fertilizers here. That's funny. And all the seeds. So this is important to note also, though. Anything that you can build or buy with Astral Sand in Eternaland, you cannot take with you into seasonal play, even if you spend resource points. These things will not transfer over. The only things you can take from Eternaland into another season are things that originally came from a season. Absolutely, old gamers. I have been an avid Ark player pretty much since it launched. Let's see, when Evolve launched Ragnarok, I started playing pretty heavy. And I've put in thousands and thousands of hours into Ark. And I love that game so much, but it is the buggiest mess I have ever played in my entire life. And then I went really hard solo on the Small Tribe servers at Ascended's launch. And literally, like, within a week of the servers opening up for fighting, I lost my base to somebody meshing it in a pearl cave. And I had it, like, stacked. I was feeling really good for a solo. And, servers opened up and I got meshed, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And I haven't gone back since. It was real sad. Real sad. Almost as sad as not being able to move on to my new season right now. But, yeah, let's go down to Silo Alpha and see if we can't get one of them rare butterflies, because I'd really like to see one of those rare traits. Or I don't know exactly what it's going to take stuff out of Eternal Land. There's a quest line when you first go to Eternal Land. It's really simple. It just gives you the basic, tells you to build something, tells you to plant something, tells you to gather something, and then it's pretty much done. But it's probably a good idea once you hit level 20 to go to Eternal Land and go ahead and complete that. Because Eternal Land really is pretty cool, and you might find yourself having some good fun there. And then when it's time for your server to move on, you should be able to just real quick do it. There's also that story, or that quest line that I just now finished in Eternal Land that you were pointing out to me. I would say you probably have to finish that storyline as well to take stuff out the first time, but I don't think that storyline will probably be there every time you complete a season, just the first time. I stopped playing official servers about 3 weeks in, been hosting my own since then. ASA has been a challenge. Yeah, Ark in general is just always a challenge. I don't know what to tell you. Butterfly's Emissary. Alright. Obtained a Butterfly's Emissary. Does it have a cool trait? I don't know. No traits. Did you hear that? No. No, they didn't hear anything. I am a ghost. Get away. Get away. I've got the Savior set on. I should probably put my living armor on. And then I'll never die. Stay close. Stay close. Ready? And... get her! That was your plan? Get her? Keep hitting the wrong button. Time to farm some flippin' butterflies. So sad. Not even moving to Eternal Land. Now I have to change that thumbnail too. I've just been lying to everybody. Silly, silly, silly. I don't take the blame for all of this lying. I blame the game. All the devs' fault. All the devs' fault. Been a great stream so far, though. I'm having a lot of fun. This is, even if it was because of a lie, my most successful stream ever. There have been a ton of people in here talking. It's been a lot of fun to have so many people to talk to. This is definitely... Thanks, old gamer. I appreciate that. This is definitely really good motivation for me for wanting to continue doing this. Because I couldn't even imagine if there were even more people in here trying to keep up with like a real chat that was, you know, maybe 100 or 200 people strong, just scrolling through and trying to do that and play the game at the same time, and so many people to talk to and interact with. That's just, I mean, it's going to be so much fun. So come heck or high water, I'm going to turn into a real streamer. Because this is just one of the best days I've had in a long time. And it's all because you all came to chit chat. Just super, super entertaining. On the bright side, I think through all of this debauchery or debacle or whatever, we have managed to get to a point where there's a pretty decent understanding of what's about to happen and what we're going to be able to do. So it's not a complete loss. You know, there's been some knowledge gained, and that's always a good thing. And subscribe or deviations will come visit you in your dreams and pee in your coffee maker. Good times. Good. I really hope that no deviations pee in anybody's coffee makers. What just happened? Something weird just happened. It must have been my switch to a new world was delayed, like the graphic for it. My little brother is like a really, really good barista. Like gone to tournaments for latte art and stuff like that and done really well. Even won when he was living up in Connecticut. And so he would be really sad if somebody's coffee was ruined. So I hope that no deviations pee in anybody's coffee makers. Whee! Really gotta put my living armor on, or I'm gonna die.
Did you hear that? Don't just stand around gawking. Get in there!
All right. My throat's getting a little parched. I gotta get some water real quick. Give me a sec. It is quite difficult to keep up a constant stream of words for an entire hour.
Did you hear that?
It is rough on your throat.
I hope I'm mistaken.
Rough indeed. Thankfully, since I was about 10 years old, I've been doing live theater, in specifically musical theater. So over the course of my life, I have gotten a considerable amount of vocal work. So I have quite a fortified larynx. I think that's your throat. I think it has definitely helped me with some of the longer streams I've done to not kind of peter out too hard. Now it's just a question of thinking of things to say, because we certainly don't want any silence, not violence. We definitely want violence, primarily against the Rosetta, because they're evil, and they should get violence. Let's use a living armor real quick. And let's get some spring legs. And we might as well get some weaver as well. Alright. I should probably just make some cookies and become invisible, but whatever.
Did you hear that?
Remind folks of things they can do tonight, like 5-star source mods, etc. So that is absolutely a good point. I don't think Stardust Source is probably going to be an extremely important thing to farm. And honestly, if you're down to your last few hours of farming before the reset, I would say what I'm doing right now is your best use of time, especially if you're a player who's spent a lot of hours playing. If you're falling a little behind as far as hours played, then maybe doing some other things like mod farming. If you haven't used up all of your controllers, then absolutely you should use those up. But if you're down to having no resources, then even activities that require you to use controllers to get resources will still drop deviations if you don't have a controller. So if you really want a good festering gel, then absolutely go consider that. The other reason I think that's so important is because they are coming out with a system that's going to allow you to upgrade your deviations with other deviations, sort of like a food system where you feed weaker deviations to stronger deviations to make them stronger, is something they put in one of their updates over the course of the last week or so. Because of that, any deviation you pick up is going to have value to you in the future. And so saving it in your Eternal Land until that time is going to be useful to you. So if you're out of controllers, if you have controllers, farm mods first. If you're out of controllers, I would farm deviations, because you're just going to get the most value out of those. And depending on how expensive they are to take into the next season, they might be some of the most cost-effective benefits that you can get, because they're going to help you right from the beginning. I mean, the minute you walk in, you put down your first securement unit, and then bammo, that deviation is helping you from start to finish. I wish I could read that, Zidrius. I'm sorry, I don't understand what that says. Actually, let me get to where I'm safe, and I will go Google Translate it. Because Google Translate exists. And it's awesome.
Just stand around. Go in there.
How do people even use all their controllers in a season? I still have 180. Mostly log in for PvP Conquest the past 2 weeks though, because the Path of Exile League is that good. Oh, was the Path of Exile League really good this year? Or this season? I haven't played Path of Exile in a couple of years. It got too complicated for me. But I also had the same problem. It wasn't until just a few days ago that I finally used up all of mine, because I don't really like re-fighting bosses. It kind of annoys me. So I was being a slacker and not using all of mine. I think I still have like 20 left. I probably should go use them, but I'm not going to. I think maybe what you said was misspelled, Zidrius, because it doesn't, it says not, and then just repeats that BTLSI. So I still don't have any idea what you said. I'm sorry. I would like to respond to you, but I cannot. There were a bunch of people in my server core that ran out of controllers like week 3. I'm bouncing between Prime Wars right now, farming stuff. I wish that I could do Prime Wars. I honestly should not have started on a PvP server. The PvP for this season just was not very solo oriented, and I'm a pretty solo focused person. And I think I would have had a lot more fun doing Prime Wars and stuff like that. But live and learn, and I still get to try the PvE season this next season, so. And I get to try it on hard mode. I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited indeed. The Prime Wars also require controllers to get the rewards for, right? Awesome. That'll be cool to have something else to use controllers on instead of... That's also a good way to incentivize players that have already gotten their first completion bonus to continue to complete the Prime Wars so that they can help other people out. If you weren't able to use a controller to get good resources, then, or get good rewards for doing those multiple times, then more casual players will probably have a really hard time beating Prime Wars because there just wouldn't be nearly enough people to help. So that's a really, really good decision by the devs there. A PvP server was so bad this season. Conquest was alright, but laggy as hell. My warband finished rank 2. Hey, congratulations, Core. Good job. Honestly, I think the reason that PvP was so bad this season was because of the rewards available for controlling engagement zones. If the reward for controlling engagement zones was a resource that could be disassembled, that would give you any random thing that could be earned from the disassembly bench, so, you know, any of the plastics, rubber, any of that stuff, instead of just Stardust Source and fuel, then I think a lot more people would have controlled engagement zones, and so there would have been a lot more engagement zone PvP to take part in, which would have kept the servers a lot more alive a lot more often. I think a lack of decent rewards for controlling engagement zones just made it so that it was kind of a waste of your time. You could have been farming literally anything else and doing more for your character and your account, so why control an engagement zone? But I think that just one small change could have a huge positive impact on engagement zones in the future. So I hope they change it. I put out a video about it way back when I first started, and I doubt that it'll get changed because I said so, but maybe it will get changed. I also think maybe increasing the build limit around engagement zones would do a lot for their viability. Not even necessarily increasing, you know, like how many turrets and stuff you could put down, but just how many walls and stuff you can put down would be a huge help, so you could build something interesting, you know? And being able to save those would be really nice. Well, I have gone through all of those and gotten all of the butterflies. There was only one. That's extremely sad. Perhaps now we should go see about doing a race. I have an interesting idea because you get points for running into creatures as well, not just deviants. There's a bunch of deer over here. Like a bunch. So maybe I can get a good score. I come over here and run over deer. Overall, I also don't think a single warband got more Starchrome than any player on PvE with how easy it was to max Starchrome on PvE. That's also probably true. Although the warbands that were in the lead, I think probably did get more Starchrome than any player on the PvE server. I think if you were in the top 3 or 4 warbands, you just had potential to get more Starchrome than was available on the PvE servers. But I haven't done the math on it, so don't quote me on that. Okay. We're gonna take this Jeep out of over here. Hey, run over that bear. Got him. Look at all them deer. Got him. Got him. Oh, too many rocks. Oh my goodness. Oh, I broke it. Come here, dear. You're going down. Wow, I got a higher score just from driving straight than I'm getting for doing this. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah. All them deer. Oh, that's a rock. If the goal was to run over rocks, I would absolutely be wrecking this. Okay, that was sad. It's 22k Starchrome for the first rank warband if you win every week, and 20k easy on PvE. So it's negligible difference for the effort put in. Wow. That seems insane. I feel like I got 20k. You get 4k a week for 6 weeks. 4k a week for 6 weeks is 24k. Minus the first 2 weeks, you can't quite get that much. So say 3k for both of those weeks, so you lose 2k. It's 22k. Are you sure you only get 22k Starchrome for the first warband? Or are you just talking about Prime Wars versus winning the conquest? So you can get 20,000 for Prime Wars or 22,000 if you win every conquest. Another thing that you could consider farming, because ranching just became available, using up your excess rubber and your excess engineering parts to make tranquilizer darts and going out and farming really good animals might be a really good idea in the next 11 hours until the next servers open up. You can get crocodiles, you can get bears, you can get boars, you can get wolves. And as far as I know, 100% for sure, I have seen baby rabbits, baby deer, baby goats, and baby crocodiles, and baby boars. And the baby creatures have a different wording. They have the ability to get advanced characteristics for their traits or whatever, like deviations have traits. Creatures also get traits like that. and babies have the ability to get advanced traits. So I'm talking Prime Wars plus 7.5k Starcroom event in PvE. First 3 weeks of Conquest rank 1. At least I think I have the numbers right. Yeah, I mean, there was a conversation going on in my server earlier about that, and so that sounds about right. And you're right, 2K is pretty negligible for having to be the winning team every time. It definitely makes it so that PvP servers are going to have a hard time maintaining members, because if you don't think you're going to be in that top slot, then it's going to be pretty hard to keep going and keep trying with the wars. And when you could just go to a PvE server and get the same amount of resources just as easy. It might make it so that PvP servers in the future are more full, though, because people will have all their weapons maxed out from PvE or whatever. Maybe they'll start PvPing when they don't need the Starcroom as much. I don't know. We'll have to see. I would like to see PvP become a more viable game mode in this game, though. I think the opt-in idea of PvP is good. You know, you have opt-in base rating, you have opt-in open world PvP, you have opt-in PvP with engagement zones and wars. I think opt-in is the way to go. But you also, when you opt into PvP, you need to be able to PvP and gain resources equivalent to what you would gain if you were just farming. And that needs to be, you need to be taking into account the fact that you may be losing stuff in that process as well. If they want to have, you know, loot PvP, that's great. But then I have to be gaining as much as I'm losing, plus how much I would normally be farming. Or I'm not going to want a PvP because I don't want to go backwards. So what I was thinking was actually in the PvP servers, you have these echoes that drop. If instead of purifying these for Starcroom, if you instead got to hang on to this, and while you were holding it, it generated resources, and then whenever you were killed, you just got those resources. So you hang on to it, and while you're out in the open world, it's just generating resources. You can't go into dungeons, or if you do, it stops generating. And you just hang on to it, and it generates resources for, you know, up to 24 hours until tomorrow when a new one spawns. And you just get to generate resources out of it while you're online and while you're out in the open world. And then when you die, you get those resources and somebody else can pick it up and start generating resources for themselves. I think that would be a much more interesting PvP version, because then you have a system where you're generating those resources, and that's great. But you can also go do other things. You know, go gather resources in other places, and that entire time you sort of have to be on paying attention, because somebody can just sneak up on you. Because I think they should mark you on the map so that you can always be visible. And then somebody can just sneak up on you and come kill you and take your echo, but then you get all those resources you've accumulated. So, you know, you're being careful, you're moving around, you're keeping your eyes out, you know, you're doing all the right stuff trying to keep yourself alive, and then if you do get killed, okay, great, now you get to keep all those resources that you accrued, and somebody else becomes sort of the prey animal. And you can go hunt them and try and get that back. So I think that would be a much more interesting open world PvP format, because it rewards the person who went and got the resources or who went and got the echo, and not the person who's maybe lying in wait and just sniping them. Right? You have to be on the defensive. You have to be paying attention to be actually accruing rewards. And I think that would be a really good way to motivate people to PvP. I would do it. What is this? Deviated potato. Sweet. You know, I never played The Division. That's, it annoys me when there are systems that have already been solved, and then new games don't use those systems. That's really, really annoying. I really like running over deer, and I really don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm really sort of completed. Right, I got all the things I wanted to do done, and I could, you know, there's deviation farming to do, and there's stuff like that that I can be doing. But I just kind of was letting myself down and prepping myself for moving on, and now that I'm not actually moving on, it's kind of got me in a weird place. Feel funky. 11 hours and 20. At least I get to sleep for most of that. Holy cow. I wish there was something I could do with this. Why are you telling me to come over here? I hate you. I guess we can actually play the, let's do that. Let's make some all-purpose hands, because I need them. While that's cooking, I really need to go to the restroom. I've had like an entire bottle of water since the stream started, so I will be back in just a couple of minutes. Alright, he's back. I really kind of wish that I had, like, the mental and physical fortitude to just stay up for the next 11 and a half hours. Prepping, and then just go. But there is no way in heck I would be able to do that. I would fall out super hard. It would be bad. So I'm gonna go do some alpha silos. I'm gonna see if I can do it on pro. At least that side boss. Because if I can do the side boss, then I can get deviations from there. And last time, which one did I get? I got one that I was happy about and that I'd like to get some more of. What was it? It was H37, wasn't it? Yes, it was H37. And I have a 3.3 and a 3.4 H37. Nice. But I'm a huge fan of H37 and paper dolls. LOL, you and me both. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, you're going to the same PvE server? Old Gamer? I really, really appreciate Old Gamers Never Die. Yeah, it was the only one I could sign up for. Launches in the morning. Okay, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely see you out there then. I want to say I really, really appreciate... Yeah, I'm on the East Coast in the US too. Well, Central Time. But I really appreciate you coming into the stream and providing the positive feedback and, you know, helping corral some people to like and subscribe and stuff to the channel. For any of you who don't know, Old Gamers Never Die is a YouTuber, and he's been doing it, or they've been doing it, sorry, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but they've been doing it for, it looks like about 3 years now, and doing a fantastic job putting out some really quality content. I just took a quick look at their channel, but it looked really, really good. So definitely y'all should go take a look over there as well. If you don't necessarily like my style of content creation, you may very well enjoy theirs. And I think they would be a great alternative. So go give them a look, give them a like and subscribe. Because they're obviously really community oriented, coming in here, helping me out. I mean, that's just a huge, huge win. So thank you very much for that, Old Gamers. What does H37 do? I'm PvP Andy and the Absorb Bullet Black Hole equipped always, LOL. Oh, dang. Nice. I'm not quite there. I'm only going to be 38. So H37 is a gatherer. Heck yeah, I'm in for it. If you've got a hive or anything, I'd love to join you all. I pretty much just play by myself right now, so I'm down to find a couple of friends. But H37 goes out and gathers resources for you. Sorry, I keep getting distracted from answering this question. I'm a trash can. But it goes and gathers resources for you. It says that it goes to other bases and collects resources. I don't know if it actually goes and steals resources from other people or not, but it brings back rubber, it brings back plastics, it brings back all that stuff that you would normally get from going out and disassembling things. So really, really valuable. And I really, really like it. I think it's easily one of the best deviations for farming out there. I want to go to pro mode and enter. Let's see how badly I get destroyed trying to do this. For anybody who didn't know, those are claymore mines on the wall. You don't want to be dumb like me and set them all off and explode to death. You know, honestly, I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten electronic parts from it. Maybe higher tier versions will get better stuff. I just have a really low tier one right now. I haven't been testing anything with any of the higher tier ones. I also should drink this. And can I just eat salt? Or sugar? No. Can I eat this berry? No. Can I eat a pickle? No. Oh, there we go. Dried fish. And then we'll hit an activator.
Don't just stand around.
Oh god.
Get in there.
Oh god. Okay. Good thing we do an obscene amount of damage. Yeah, see, I didn't need electronic parts nearly as much as the warbands did this season because I wasn't making... Oh, I've only played this silo like twice. Earlier today.
Did you hear that?
Explode. Are you summoning a stupid thing? Oh my goodness. I'm so bad. Yeah, I never really did any of the silos very much. Like I said, I'm really just not into redoing bosses and stuff like that. It's not my favorite kind of content. I did a lot of just running around the map exploring. Actually, before I get too far into this, I need to change all of my titles and stuff. Season 1 reset is here. Let's change this to Season 1 reset is almost here. Last hours of prep. Okay. And then we need to change this thumbnail again so I'm not lying to the entire world. Let's click it. Change it. Pretty sure I've got like a chatting, prepping, building, tournament prep, PvPing now. Building, questing, PvP with viewers, sure. We'll switch to that thumbnail. If anybody would like to PvP, we can go meet at my Eternal Land, and I will happily PvP you. Just gotta get off of some of that stuff that was a big old lie. Gotta say, I am sorry about that. It was not my intention. I did not mean to feed into the hype. I mean, I did, but I didn't mean to feed into the non-existent hype. It's the best silo, just run through, get the key card, kill the 2 bosses, done. I don't tend to do stuff that fast. Just because if I finish the silo and I run out of controllers, then I'm just gonna go like farm materials. And no matter what of those activities I do, ultimately I'm gonna be doing the same thing, which is just shooting, you know, random enemies and gathering stuff. So I don't really feel a need to do it like as fast as humanly possible. I'll just go nice and slow and, you know, gather up some stuff and move along and see what there is to see and have a good time. Get to pick up yellow chests. But when I was younger, in my early 20s and even in my early 30s, I would absolutely have been one of those hardcore power gaming, go a million miles an hour, never stop, never stopping kind of gamers. It's a good thing I'm basically immortal. Stand here and get shot over and over again. Ow. Why did you do that? I mean, that's fair. I also have a considerable amount of time to put into playing. I mean, I play 8 to 12 hours a day. So I can take 2 or 3 times as long as most people and still get, you know, the same amount done. So I certainly understand if you have less time, or you know, you were in a war band, so you had to probably farm more materials than I did so that you could go to wars, and you had to participate in those wars and do all that stuff. So there just weren't nearly as many constraints on my time as well. But this is a fun little silo. The first time I ever came in here, I didn't know you needed this stupid baton. So I didn't have it. So I didn't even get to kill this boss. You maybe just... I need you to take a step. Like, really bad. There you go. Hold on. You buttface. Whoops. Okay. Oh, time for some bouncy bullets. Oh, I don't carry a power surge weapon either, but that's good to know. Well, that's not doing anything. Let this dispel the misconception that you have to be totally maxed out in order to do pro mode. This is a novice season. You can be a complete garbage can and do just fine. Ow. You wanna maybe die there, bud? I can't hit your ankle. Do I have to hit your ankle for you to die? Are those the rules? Because you're not dying. There we go. Now he dies. That took a really long time. Only one thing that kept me from using my controllers. No difficulty apart from Leah Lab last boss. That is fair. Hopefully, I mean, we're moving into hard mode. This is novice. So hard mode is going to be 2 steps above, going into normal and then into hard. So pro mode on the hard mode should be quite the experience. I am sort of looking forward to, and also sort of not looking forward to, how crazy that's going to be. I mean, I can't even imagine Leah Lab on pro mode on hard difficulty. I am not even close to prepared for that right now. I think we're probably going to go ahead and try and finish this up though, and then call that the end of the stream, because viewer count is dwindling pretty hard and we all need to rest. That's true, we don't have, but I don't think they would say that we're going into pro mode. They didn't say that the creatures in silos and stuff didn't get harder. They just said that creatures, period, got harder. And I think they would have made that distinction. Although I say that, honestly, sometimes this game does not give you information you would think you would get. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat this boss because I suck.
Target eliminated. Troops fall back into position and continue the mission.
Okay. Well, that's funny. Let's just exit here. I beat the boss that I actually wanted to beat. But yeah, I think it's probably time to go ahead and call this the end of this stream. I'm really, really sorry, everyone, that I tricked you into coming here. I promise, tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m., Pacific Standard Time, we will be moving to a new server. I swear. It's not a lie. It's not fake news. We're gonna be there. So, thank you everybody who came out to the stream. Again, I'm really, really sorry. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Yes, Cora, that would have been a great thing to have, is a fact. We're gonna have some more fun tomorrow, Core. I promise.